Welcome back to From the Source podcast. This is episode 47, and today we're talking about diet and training. So these go hand in hand. You can't really have one without the other. Some people try, some people actually wing it and do pretty well. Probably us at some point in our lives, but diet and training, something that you need to prioritize both things, and they complement each other. So what we're going to do is basically give you the lowdown on what we do, what we eat, and ours is far from perfect. So how good is your diet?
I mean, it's all right, yeah.
What would you rate out of 10? 10 is like,
like dead on it, count
dead on
calories and all that lot.
Yeah, you can't go off diet. And 1 is I eat Mackies every day.
Yeah. I'd probably 6 or 7, I would say.
That's probably the same as me.
Throughout the week, I'll eat pretty well, like in terms of like eating the right stuff and stuff that will benefit me in training. But I love like a bar of chocolate at night and some sweets.
Yeah,
or whatever.
same.
But I don't feel
my...
bad doing it because I know, last week obviously I did like 4 big runs. They were like 1,500 calories each. Like I've earned it.
You need it.
Yeah. And sometimes you just crave it.
That's what I do. If I've done a big run or a big workout or a few big workouts and a big run, like I'll be like, right, this week I'm actually like minus calories. So I've eaten the same foods as I normally would. I've probably had a few more carbs or whatever, but nothing major. So when I get to them night times and we're watching something, or, you're just chilling and you fancy something sweet, like I make sure like I enjoy it.
I eat it. I feel no guilt at all.
But that's the 80-20 rule. It's like 80% healthy, 80% good, 20% do what you want, because that's what life is surely about.
Yeah, there is a bit of just live your life and just enjoy the good stuff. Because you could easily, I couldn't actually easily do it, but if you plan all your diet out and you'd have to not go out for tea and you wouldn't have a social life. And
you want to enjoy your life. And if we were like really, highly paid athletes, like you'd have to dial in on the diet and you'd have to miss those things and that. But that'd be fine because it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
But it's not really worth it for people like us or most people in general.
But if you're a professional athlete, you'd have a nutritionist. Say if you're a footballer, they've got their own chefs, they've got everything. The thing for me that puts me off being like a 10 out of 10 in terms of my diet is I don't want to keep getting like weigh scales out and fucking...
Because that's what you need if you're going to go 10 out of 10.
And I can basically just like wing the grams or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say to you, do you just eat intuitively?
Yeah, you've done it for so long now that it's just, I kind of know how much it is.
Yeah, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, carbs, protein, fats, but I'm not really arsed about that. I'm not thinking, oh God, I need more, healthy fats. I know what I like to eat and I just eat it. My diet pretty much consists of meat and fish, and then eggs, carbs like rice, pasta, noodles, like that kind of thing, potatoes, and then that's it. It's a really ordinary diet.
Yeah, I don't have any the normal working week. We don't have like puddings and stuff like that after. Like I said, like a bar of chocolate.
Yeah, we don't really have like micro meals and like microwave meals and like stuff that you bang in the oven that's like a ready-made curry or something. We make everything ourselves.
Yeah, everything is fresh.
Yeah, we might use a jar now and again of like pasta sauce if we're running out of time and stuff. But even then, it's chopped tomatoes. Like, is the jar of pasta sauce really?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not horrendous, but you're not smashing Dominoes and
no
microwave curries and all the other preservative shit that's in it.
Yeah, it's easy to get into that. I've not really ever been in that, but I can imagine it's quite easy to get into that cycle of microwave meals, Domino's takeaways all the time because it's convenient.
Yeah, I think that's like lack of planning from people though, or thought. But I think if I had a microwave meal,
I can imagine having like macaroni cheese microwave meal.
How long did it take to make macaroni cheese like fresh?
Yeah.
Like you boil pasta I don't even really
I
know.
don't even know macaroni cheese.
You make
I don't
like the
know.
cheese sauce.
It's just when I go in supermarkets, the first thing I normally see is like lasagna, macaroni cheese, like ready meals. But it doesn't appeal to me. I'd rather have fresh veg, fresh food.
Yeah.
Normally we have like what's like a common meal we have? Salmon, rice and kale with like sweet chili sauce or
See, that just sounds amazing.
yeah, and it's all fresh. It's not hard at all.
Like you put, like some fresh lemon, squeeze that on it. I don't know, like you can
coriander,
just make it.
And that's like, I mean, that is like the easiest meal we have. What have we got this week? We're having like Thai green curry noodles, and it's like dried noodles, just carbs. We'll have chicken or fish with it, a jar of like curry paste, and then coconut milk, and it's just like fresh veg.
That's like one of my favourite meals because you can make that you've just said, and then literally you can just chuck in any veg you want.
Yeah, everything in your
like
fridge.
Whatever you want, like spinach, like peppers, whatever. Chuck carrots in, who gives a shit? And it's just like everything.
And that's what you need. I think you need like a broad diet, but we're both very similar on like diet, really. We eat very good, like a lot better than most people we know, but we also enjoy the 20%.
Yeah.
Like I love like biscuits, sweets, cakes,
going out for like a meal,
bakery stuff. Yeah. Indulging in like a nice meal and you're not bothered like what you're having. But like let's say 7 days in a week, like
well, how many times are you doing exercise
like
a
nearly
week?
Every day. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I don't feel any guilt about it because I do enough through the week that I'm not watching myself become like oversized and stuff. I'm not putting like alarming amounts of weight on. So
You're
I'm
actually
not even...
what you eat, you just stay the same.
Yeah.
At this point, because that's what you want and you need.
But there is times where say if you go on a holiday and stuff, I'm like, right, well, I've never understood that, but like you could trim down.
Yeah, you could cut down
and do your diet to look good on holiday, but then you just go on holiday and eat food and
you literally look good for one day and then you've like raided the buffet.
Yeah. So what's the point?
Yeah. But the one thing that I'm like probably conscious of and I go in flows with it, like come and go with it, is putting on like muscle if it's needed. And that's when you need to think about like diet and stuff, and especially when things like protein. Same for if you are like, let's say we're like running and we've got a running event coming up, want to get faster, so you think like, right, I might cut down a little bit because I want to get faster. I don't need this excess weight. That's when you need to start thinking about like weighing scales. But even then, it's like if you've got a plate of food, like you just slide 10% off the plate.
Yeah.
You don't eat that.
But then you'll be focusing more on like eating your carbs and...
Yeah.
But I don't know. Then you'd be running more, so you just burn it off anyway. So no point. Eat the 10%.
In terms of running and gym, do you think it's quite hard to fuel for the exercise? Because I've noticed like when I'm not on form with my diet, let's say I've had a busy day at work, I've not had time to eat properly, I've hardly ate anything, and some days I actually get to like 3 p.m. I've hardly eaten, and I'm booked on like a 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. gym class, or I'm running, and I like have to cram in loads of food because I've got 2 hours till I'm there. But the food I get at that point is like chocolate bars, a quick sandwich meal deal, a pasta pot from Tesco.
Just shit in it,
and it's not good for you. It's not even that it's not good for you. It's just not going to be the right fuel that you need. And I really do notice how much I struggle in a session if I've not fueled. But then on the same time, if I've had like, let's say I've had like eggs, some meat, like a nice fresh bagel or something like that, and then I go for a run later on, I feel like unreal.
Yeah, there is. I definitely notice a difference if I don't eat properly. Especially, I think I feel it more on runs, but definitely after Christmas, the gym sessions were horrendous.
Yeah,
stay back. But definitely on runs, I feel like the longer runs, I get to about 7-8K, and if I've fueled right and eaten well, everything after that is fine. But if I'm not, I get to that stage and
Yeah, if you've had like a bad week or
you're just counting down the Ks and everything starts to hurt more. I don't know, you get like twinges of like you're going to get cramp because you've not like drank your electrolytes and water. And
it's a bit like a hazy fog that comes over you when you've been probably having a bad diet. Because I'll have times where I want to eat like biscuits and cakes like all the time. And like sometimes I think, do you know what? I'm just going to let myself do it and get this out of the way.
Yeah.
You said it before, but it's like if you want, the full pack of digestives, like just have it because then you've had it and then you feel like shit. And then tomorrow you'll be like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
And it almost like fires you back into it.
I always, not always, probably 90% of the time, I will feed the craving.
Mm.
And then, like you said,
Get it out of the way.
Afterwards, I'm just like, can't be arsed with it. Like, I don't eat McDonald's and stuff like that. It's just shite.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't make me feel good. I'd rather have a Chinese because there's like more flavour in it, but that also doesn't make me feel good.
No.
So now I'd have a Thai because
it's a bit healthier.
Well, it just looks nice.
And it's not as much oil.
Yeah, it's like
there is obviously oil, but there's not as much.
But it's like you said, like the coconut milks, like the more fresh veg. Like I think Chinese food looks a bit like processed, and so you eat enough of the cravings, you'll soon actually not even want the craving.
Yeah, I read this book that was about UPF, like ultra processed food, and it said this guy was like basically saying that when he got these cravings for like sweets, chocolates, crisps, cakes, like ultra processed food, he said what he actually did was just he had a week of only eating that, and it basically put him off it for life.
Yeah.
So he said he told himself next week you can only eat UPF, can't have fruit, raw food, anything, and he put him off it for life. He basically said like if you're struggling with stuff like that, just go extremely the other way, and you'll show yourself what you really need.
So I probably couldn't go 2 days of eating absolute shit.
No.
Like so say if you diet, which I know some people will eat like this, like just sausage rolls, all that beigey type food all day, every day. I don't know how they do it, but I would struggle the second day. I just want some nutrition.
When you've been on holiday, do you not think, it depends what holiday you've been on, but like I'm thinking when I went on holiday with my mates when I was younger, you just crave like veg and fruit after, especially if you've had like KFC, do you know what it's like when you've been to, when you've done like a run or a high rocks or something like that and you've not been in your own environment, you're probably not eating that well. Or if you've had like loads of gels and then all you want is like some fresh veg and fruit.
Yeah, but it can go the other way. You've trained so hard in that training block, eating no crap and all that lot, and then once you've done the event, you're like, oh my god, I love a Cadbury's.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But it always seems to be when you eat, the day you want to eat the shit is when people see you and they're like, oh, I thought you said you eat like healthy, and it's like, fuck off. Like, I'm allowed I'm allowed 1 day. Let me just eat this shit.
Yeah. Because
I just want to get rid of it. I'm doing it to remove it from my brain.
Yeah. Food is so weird. Like food is so addictive. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel bad. And sometimes the weirdest thing about food I found is I'll know this is going to make me feel like shit, but for some reason, like I'm still drawn to eat it.
Yeah.
So like if I look in my like little cupboard and I see like some, I don't know, like a big, let's say it was like a big cake, and I was like, I'm going to have a massive slice of that. But I know like that's going to make me feel like shit after. I'll end up still wanting more of it.
Yeah.
And you basically, with that kind of food, it's so addictive. You eat until you feel sick.
Yeah, it's just pure greed, eyes bigger than your belly, but you can't. You have like one pudding, don't you? And you're like, oh, I could finish that off.
Yeah, you're like drawn.
You're eating, you're like, why have I done that?
Did it at Christmas with cheese boards, and like you'd eat, and I felt sick, and then you'd be like, I'll just have a little bit more though. It's so palatable, it's so nice, it's so flavoursome, and they make it like that, so you're just drawn to eat more. So same for Mackies, and I'm so glad like I never have Mackies, because I bet when you have Mackies, it's like the chips, like the Mackies fries.
Yeah.
You can't just have one. Like,
no.
You've got to keep going.
Yeah, the fries, the fries taste so nice, but they're actually
they're so fake.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like, it's just all not chemicals and stuff, but it's like really flavored salt and.
It's the same with, and this is the same book. The guy said Pringles just dissolve on your tongue. Like, that's what makes them so good, is that they're so thin that you have one, or you probably, if you like most people, you have like 4 at once. You put them in and it like melts and it just cracks. And basically scientists have worked for years to perfect these, not just the flavor, but the way it feels in your mouth, like everything. And then that makes you just want to eat it and eat it and eat it.
Well, you just reminded me, when I was a kid, skips were like that.
Skips.
Because skips just are like paper, aren't they? And
you don't even need to chew it.
You would just shovel it in and next bag, and you've eaten like 10 bags.
Yeah.
And it's just...
And it's literally...
It's giving you nothing.
Scientifically made to make you want more.
It's not filled you up, and nutritionally it's not giving you anything, but it's like...
So if you wanted to stop, like, let's say you wanted to change your diet, you could do 2 things. You can try and fight it and be like, right, I'm going to not eat anything like that because abstinence is going to help me. So let's say I don't eat anything like that for like 2 days. I'm going to start to feel better. 4 days, I'm going to start to actually notice to how bad it made me feel. Or you just go, right, I want to stop eating crisps, so I'm going to have a week of just eating pure crisps for breakfast, lunch and tea. That's it. And then I bet you won't last till Friday.
Yeah.
You know, you start on Monday, I bet you wouldn't get to Friday before you were like, I'm only eating veg.
Each day you would have changed up like the brand of crisp, but it won't help by the end.
Yeah. It's just so weird, but in terms of like fitness and stuff, diet's so important.
You've got
like getting your calories back in, like you said, but also making sure you're fueling yourself. Like before a race, you need to be eating carbs, but you need to be full. You need to have the protein and the fats, but you can go a bit too extreme. I see people on Instagram like weighing out stuff, and I just think like, like online PTs like weighing their food and showing their clients to weigh it. I just think, come on, like,
is the difference in 10-15 grams really gonna like
if I was an online PT, obviously you want to make people know that you know your stuff, but I'd say to people, right, you want to lose weight, get rid of all the ultra processed food as possible, and then whatever you normally have on your plate, just swipe off like a 1/6.
Yeah.
Just swipe it off in the bin or in tomorrow's thing. And you literally lose weight because you're eating less. But, you can go a bit too extreme on like...
But people do. Obviously, social media plays a big role, don't they? It fucks a lot of people's nutrition and how they go about training. But it is just as basic as like carbs, protein, fats.
Yeah.
All whole foods, all like nice food.
And we've come like in a new direction in the past couple of years with like fruits and vegetables and vitamins and minerals and stuff, and like beans and lentils and like carbs, protein and fats are really important.
And there's so many good like cookbooks out there that I think 5-10 years ago people didn't want to eat good foods because they felt like it took forever to cook them and stuff like that. But like there's so many good cookbooks where you can just we just like batch cook, for example, like homemade coleslaws and beans that you just add into your diet throughout the week. Just chuck it in your lunch and whatever. Yeah. So it is a lot easier. Air fryers, like there's so many air fry meals.
Yeah.
That are healthy.
Get like air fryer cookbooks, everything.
Loads of stuff like that. It's just so simple. 15-20 minutes cooking, you can do that for the whole week.
Yeah, that's one thing I would recommend to people is getting a cookbook, because you told us to get a cookbook and we got it, and like we were eating the same meals all the time, healthy meals, like great meals, but again, like it gets a bit boring, and that's when you start to have cravings for sugar and salt and stuff. So you fill that void with new stuff. You're experimenting, but it's also nice. I love cooking. I think it's like brilliant because you're making something and it's going to be good for your body, but it's therapeutic. It de-stresses you.
Yeah.
Or it stresses you out.
You, yeah.
If you start burning stuff. But No, it is good. And I think, you know, if people want to start getting on a diet, start with a cookbook and just follow it.
Yeah, and just get out and exercise. Just don't like think too much about it.
Yeah.
Don't have to buy everything just to lose weight and get fit. Just start with the basics and you'll kind of just learn along the way.
But yeah, we're not experts. Our diet is 80% good, 20% awful. But the 20% awful is little things, little bits, biscuits, sweets, stuff like that.
Yeah, live your life.
And you're allowed them, like, just enjoy it.
Live your life, you know, and tell Karen at work to shut up.
Yeah, with a big box of Weight Watchers pasta, like one you can eat.
Yeah, but then she goes home and
it's only zero sins. This,
yeah, munches all the quality streets and stuff like that.
Zero sins, but
complains she's still but not like losing weight.
She's still 16 stone.
Yeah, no sins. Like, what is it? You can eat as much potato as you want on one of the diets, and there's no sins. And I'm like,
covered in mayo and cheese.
Yeah, and she's I've had like a kilo of chips tonight. It's sin free though.
Yeah,
don't count. Body just gets rid of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What?
Just breathe that out. Right. Thanks for listening. And if you're not yet following, subscribing, liking, sharing, then please do. Helps the channel grow. And we'll catch you in the next one.
See you on the next one.